Oh. Ooh.
That's not what I want.
Ooh.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Regenerate, Don't Degenerate with Linda in white and Jim in the blue.
Really? I thought you were Rinda.
Yeah, not today.
We just had an amazing breakfast.
We did.
I let her digest for 45 minutes, and it's 17 degrees, up from the 13 that it was.
Yeah. Thus, our warm-up was inside. I'm suggesting if you haven't warmed up yet, why don't you consider pausing this, get some warm-up happening, because you're going to need to have your body warmed up so you're not hurting yourself and you can do the best good for yourself. Also, lots of hydration. Get yourself hydrated before you start and have it available while you're exercising. Some of the other precautions. If your body is one that needs a little bit of pain medication to help you get through any kinds of activities, you should have those on board before you get started so they're doing their job, get ahead of the pain.
And
right, Miss Nurse?
yes, and you will need your weights today. I can.
So whether you have real weights or substitute weights, have some weights, because today is strength training, so we're going to be building up those muscles a bit. So one other announcement along with what we're doing. What I'm seeing is that not a lot of us are able to join in at the live time, which is great. You know, that's not a problem. So instead of having these at a particular time, I'm going to start doing a little bit more work with them so I can increase the quality of the video and then publish one each day. And I'm going to be doing them ahead of time. So they'll be available
to you still.
And they're available they're just available from that day forward. So you can follow this series and keep up with what's going on. And I will have a different set of things each day so you can continue to follow, but I just won't be doing them live.
And just as a reminder, I am not chair-bound. I am doing this for those people that are chair-bound. And strengthening exercise is extremely good for osteoporosis, men and women. So
let's start regenerating these bodies of ours. So we're going to start off. Now, and as you notice, we're a little bit different area. We have this more solid floor. And that's something that I'm recommending a lot of, is that if you have what I'll call a non-conforming surface, which is a carpet, something that's soft and it's a lot harder to maintain your balance. And the more that I was working with that, the more I realized, this is a problem for me. It's going to be a problem for anybody. I don't know if you have the possibility, but if you do, get yourself on a solid surface. It's not going to give, and you'll have a lot better time with your balance. So that said, we're going to work mostly bottom to top today. So we're going to be going up on our toes, up on our heels.
I know you can't see my toes. We
up on our toes
with this, but
up on our heels.
I am doing the same thing he's doing.
So we're going to do several of these. This is a good start.
And we're just holding the weights in our hand?
Yes, they're adding weight to us, okay? You could probably get by with more weight on this, but so be it.
We can't see any feet here.
Can you scoot
back to the wall a little bit?
I'm getting onto the wall.
Climb the wall.
Can we see my feet now? Up on the toes.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? They can see our feet. I just don't think they can. You just scoot forward. They can see them.
Now, the reason that I'm doing toes and then heels is that for all of our muscles, they come in pairs, and they work both sides of any movement that we're doing. Okay, we can pause from that.
Hey, they can see our feet. Yay.
So by working both sides of the muscles, you're keeping them balanced. A lot of the aches and pains that we have, not all of them, but many of them, come as a result of having our muscles unbalanced, to where there's one muscle that we use a lot, but its opposing muscle doesn't get used very much at all, and as a result, we get imbalanced, and we may stand hunched forward, or other types of deviations with our back, and it puts strain on the joints that's unnatural, and it causes the pain. Same thing with our arms and our legs. So we have to be working with all of them. So the next one we're going to do is, I'm going to stand to the side so you can get a feel for how this is, but we're going to do some squats. So I'm going to put my feet about shoulder width apart, and as I go down, I'm going to put my hands out in front of me, and I'm going to go down like this. You notice my little rumpus sticks out just a bit as I'm doing it.
So let me do sideways too. Hi.
Hello. So we're going to do, if you can't do as many of them as I'm doing, that's fine. Do what you can do and rest. If you can't bend down as deep as I'm doing, that's fine. Bend down what you can.
Same on the chair. If you can't
yourself.
do what I'm doing, don't do it.
Pain is not gain. Pain is the opposite of gain. It's going to hurt you. It's going to cause you to do less and maybe nothing at all. You don't want to do that. But you want to do this until it's doing you some good. Okay, let's rest from that. The idea is that we're doing a little bit at a time, and we're going to be consistent, which is our word for the year, consistency. By being consistent with your exercising, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to do more and more. And for those of you who are saying, oh, exercise is so hard, I just don't look forward to it. As you stay consistent with it, one of these days, very soon, you're going to start saying, wow, I'm enjoying this exercise.
Wow, I don't hurt as much. Wow, I don't.
Which is what you've been experiencing.
Where did my pain go? Where? So look. Oh, wow, that doesn't hurt as much.
Yes. So that's one of the advantages of it. Now, will it make all pains go away? Probably not. Well, for most of us, will it make our pains go away? Yes, it will. So the next thing we're going to do, I can probably do this from here. I can do it forward. So we're going to do some lunges, okay?
So I'm going to move to the front of my chair if you're able to do that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So we're going to lunge out, one foot and then the other. You don't have to step very far out. Just a little ways. If all you can do is a little bit, that's fine. Just a short one like that is fine. For those of you who can do more, do more. For those of you who can dip down pretty deep, dip down pretty deep.
Look at that dip. I wasn't calling you a dip.
Yeah, I know. The idea is to work up to be able to do it. Not to do it first day, not to do it first week, not even to do it the first month. But realize you're committing yourself to a lifetime of exercising frequently. And as you do that, then you're going to be able to regain, regenerate, and do more and more, and do it for longer, and be healthier and happier longer. Okay, how's that feeling?
Good.
This feeling good for you? Okay.
Keep your core tight so you don't hurt your back. And
Yeah,
if you're in your chair, every once in a while, sit all the way back. We're doing what we can to keep our posture to where we're upright. We're keeping our core engaged at all times. Now this next one is going to combine somewhat the lower but also the upper. We're going to be, this is a little bit more of a squat. We're doing a lot of work on our legs. But that's important. They're an important part of our walking and sustainably living in place.
You need it a lot. So we're going to take these weights in front of us. We're going to let them dip down, and we're going to bring them up to our chest. But we're squatting ourselves down, and then bringing them up to our chest.
And this does, when you're sitting down, it takes a lot of back strength, so I am definitely feeling in my back, so keep your core straight. And if you start where your back is hurting, then absolutely stop, rest, and then go on.
Truer words were never spoken. It's crucial. It's very crucial.
And it's really good that I'm sitting down because I can tell you that sitting down, some of these exercises hurt more sitting down than standing up.
Yes. Well, your posture's not where it needs to be. Okay.
My posture's very good.
But I'm saying
this is not strengthened the way that it needs to be. So
right, and you're not able to use your legs with your movements, so you're putting more work on your back.
Yep. Remember that. If you're not using your, that's another reason you don't want to lose your legs, because then you put strength somewhere else. I mean, stress somewhere else. Yes.
So, you know, if you have an absolute reason that's never going to go away, that has you setting,
then exercise because you'll be stronger.
Exercise what you can, so you can make what you have get stronger. But if you can all work your legs to where you can regain their use. It's going to help you in all ways.
You know, if you have a walker, and I should get a walker, I'll just go down and get one of the cheap walkers and show you how to do some of these exercises with a walker. Remember, we have lots of years of experience in working with seniors, and if you need a walker, you use a walker, because it is much more dignified to walk with a walker than it is to be picked up off the ground.
Yeah.
No,
I can tell you, having picked a lot of people up off the ground, they did not feel dignified. It's true. Yep. It's hard.
One of the sweet 93-year-olds. Is there an exercise we can do while I talk?
Yes. What I want to do is we've strengthened up here. Now we want to work a little bit back here, and this is less about weights, but because
this one's harder to do sitting down.
Yes. So you're going to just pick your leg up.
So we're just going to do
same leg. We're keeping knees stiff. We're picking it straight up. We're going to do it like 8 times.
So we had a really good friend
7,
who was 90.
8. Switch legs.
And she came into our independent living without a walker, did not want to use her walker. She took 2 or 3 different tumbles. I happened to be right next to her during one. And then she realized that she needed that walker for her safety and for her dignity.
Yeah.
She's 93 now and going strong, and just took a motorcycle ride.
Somebody else was driving the motorcycle, but nevertheless, she went for the ride. So, work to keep what you have. And it does take work. Because
if you're not going to use a walker and you're afraid to fall, you're going to stop walking. You'll think, I'll just go to a wheelchair. Then you really go downhill.
Yeah, yeah. So when you let it go, it really goes. And if you got it, you got it. I get it. But do what you can. That's the secret. Do as much as you can with what you can use.
I'll tell another story.
Okay, we're going to start working a little bit on our upper body at this point. So we're going to do some.
So I'm spreading my legs apart.
Bring them up as high as you can. If you can only go this far,
keep your
that's
core
fine.
Where it needs to be. So I had another lady who was on a walker, and she was very feeble, and her goal in life was to be able to be without her walker.
Okay, we're going to switch to the one-arm row. So 1 foot forward, the other back. The foot going out at least a 45, maybe a 90. Hand on your knee, and we're going to row this up. Okay.
So she finally had hip surgery, and then I had forgotten about what her goal was, but she didn't forget about it. And she went through therapy, and the day that she finally walked into that
switch legs
without a walker, everybody gave her a standing ovation. It was amazing because she set her goal to do it, and she couldn't hardly walk at all when she first came in there.
8, 9, and 10.
Sorry.
That's okay.
We started talking about my heroes.
Okay, so we're going to work a little bit on the back part of our arms here.
We all need those to go up there.
So push it back like this. We're going to bend only at our elbows. 1. Keep talking, Ren. You're doing good. Tell another story.
Okay, there was one other story. Lady was in a wheelchair when she came there, and I thought that she was just always going to be in a wheelchair. She had back surgery, and she did her therapy, and she came walking back into the dining room with a walker first, and then with nothing. Determination.
Determination is the trick. You don't have to go down to your knees. I'm doing this so you can see my hands. We're going to put our hands over our head like this, and then we're going to let them go back and bring them up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And if you want more stories, go to my book on Amazon called Voices from My Heart by Renda Wilson.
Lots of great stories there.
It's on sale for $10. Down from $15. You stick in your rear out.
I am. We're going to get ourselves out here a little bit, okay? And then we're going to do a fly.
Okay.
I don't want to fly into Renda.
All right, so I'm going to put my legs apart, I think, so that we can do this. Let me sit this way. This is one I used to not be able to do because of my shoulder. So you want to make sure that your weights are not too heavy. If you can't use any weights at all, then you just go out like this
to start
with. And then you can add 1 pound, 1/2 pound. These are not even a pound. So.
But you just keep working at it.
Just
do what you can and keep increasing it. And over time, you will amaze yourself, your family, and your friends. Okay? That's where we're headed with this. Okay? Now, this...
it's a workout.
It is a workout. I'm watching the time, trying to think of how I want to... You know, this is one that we've used a little bit differently. So if you can do this with weights, great. If you can't, that's great as well. What we're going to do...
Really?
We're going to do our martial arts.
We're not going to do it with weights. We're not.
She's going to show without weights. I'm going to show it with weights.
Can I do the simple one first? Where you go here and come around. Here.
Well, you know, it's this.
That. I know you. Oh, okay.
That's the first one.
Let's do that one.
So she's going to show one. I'm going to show the other. Okay. And this is a great workout for your arms. If you can add weights to it, if you're strong enough to do that, it can help you even more. So we have our front foot going off at about a 45, the rear foot at a 90. And with the foot that's out front, that hand is in front of our face to protect us. The other hand is up here ready to go. We're going to punch out, another punch, and then we come around.
And we're not doing that. We're just doing two. One,
two, around. 1, 2, around. 1, 2, around. 1, 2, around.
And this one's crossing over.
1, 2, around. 1, 2, around. One more. And guess what? Other foot forward, okay?
This one forward.
Say other hand up in front now. We're switching hands, so 1.
And this one crosses over this way.
Around. 1, 2, around. 1, 2, around. 1, 2, around. 1, 2, around. One more. 1, 2, around.
Woo!
Woo! We did it. We did it.
That was a little bit. Why is this both doing something different?
Yeah. But it gave you an option if you needed that. What's that? Oh, true. Yeah. So we're going to transition into something a little bit easier so we can kind of start to cool down but keep working out.
Because you've been using your arms so much.
I'm going to keep my weights for this because this is going to help me a bit. Where we're going to roll our shoulders.
And your body will tell you when you need to do something.
Listen to it.
Oh, I need to shake my arms. Shake your arms. You know? Oh, I need to sit back in my chair. Sit back in your chair. If your body just tells you don't get out of bed and stay there, don't listen to it.
Unless it's serious.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to roll the other direction.
Oh, we've been rolling both ways, sorry. Oh, see, now I get tired doing that.
Okay,
so
then more here.
For us, I want you to do this with your feet out, so it's stretching. In, out, in, out. This is where you're strengthening your knees, the muscles around your knees. Really important that you do that. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do a little bit more stretching, but while we're kind of catching our breath, what I'm going to mention is that if you are in better shape than a lot of us, what you can do is pause this, rewind it, do what you can remember, but repeat this a second. And if you're in fantastic shape, you can repeat it the third time. So I'm not stopping you from doing more, just giving you some suggestions. And I will say this, there's a couple more pieces to this workout that next time I'll add them in. But if you could only do one routine and you want us to do it 3 or more times a week, this is the routine that will get to all body parts and give you strength. And if you decrease your rest time between different exercises, then it pushes you cardiovascularly as well, which is pretty important. So, but the others have to do with your core, We didn't really work on that today. We're going to just do that.
We worked on our core, didn't we?
But we'll add those in next time so you can see them, but it's important. So now we're going to be doing some cooling down. This is the time we can do our stretching. What has been discovered in a lot of research is that stretching, a lot of kinds of, just trying to stretch when you're cold can hurt you more than it helps you. But stretching at this point is a good idea. Now, we've worked a lot on our legs. So we're going to do 2 stretches on our legs. We're going to be standing with one foot in front of the other. We're going to push into our rear heel so that we're stretching out these muscles in the back here. Okay, our hamstrings and our.
And I'm doing it just by pulling this foot forward.
Right, which is kind of what we're doing by pushing down into the ground. We're pulling.
Keep your back against your chair so that your back
isn't hurting. We're standing up straight. We've got our core still engaged. And we're letting that stretch out there. Okay, we're going to relax that. And now we're going to put the weight onto the front foot, which is going to be stretching slightly different muscles, but without changing. And we're resting. We're resting, but we're stretching those muscles out. Try to keep yourself up straight as much as you can while you're doing this. This works a little bit on your balance too, doesn't it? So if you need a chair or something to keep your tipsy from happening, then that's what you want to do as well. Okay, we're gonna change sides. Rear foot now, we're driving it into the ground. We're gonna let it stretch those muscles out for us. We're standing up straight, engaging our core. And if you feel a little bit thirsty, or if you don't, probably a good time to take a sip.
Look at my legs shaking.
Yeah. I typically start my day off by drinking a large amount of water, especially when
And if you put lemon juice in it or lime, it's a lot better for you. And we bought a whole bag of limes we need to get into our waters.
And I especially do that extra drinking of water in the beginning of the morning. Let's rock forward onto this front one now, put the weight onto it. But I especially do that when I know I'm going to be exercising, so I have lots of liquid on board that my body has to go on. That's maybe why I'm not drinking as much right now as I really tanked up this morning. This leg's had a bit of a workout. It's acting like it did, which is good. It's good, causing it to do some regeneration. Okay, good stretch there.
Okay, can you show the one where you go down? And
for
just
the
let
back?
your body go down.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this modified.
Feet a little past shoulder width apart. We are going to flex our knees, but I'm going to lean forward slowly. And just let myself hang. I'm not pushing myself down.
I'm going to do the same thing, but you don't want to fall out of your chair, so be really careful.
I'm not holding myself back. I'm not pushing myself down. I'm just letting myself droop. Just as my back opens up and as those muscles release their tension, then I'm able to go down deeper and deeper. And you may not be able to go anywhere close to this deep. That's fine. Do what you can. And if you can't hold this for as long as I'm holding it, that's fine. Hold it for as long as you can. Then release. And if I'm still doing it and you get recuperated, then try it again. But if it starts to hurt, don't do it. Be
careful with dizziness. And what happens with when he's going down like this is your body just normally starts to just go, it releases a little more and a little more.
Okay, I'm going to come up.
Yep.
I'm going to come up slowly.
Slowly.
This is where you don't want to come up fast.
It's called orthostatic hypertension.
The deeper you have your head, the slower you want to come up. That's for sure. Okay? So, what we want to do now is let's take ourselves and let's just twist to the side and hold it. Okay? Keeping our posture erect, but let's keep that open over there. We're going to hold that just a little bit. Just twist around the other way, nice and slow. Let's hold it there.
Yes, get back so your head's not coming.
Can you see my head now? Okay, let's come back to the front. So we are, oh, that's the one I wanted to do. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Let's get down into the cat-cow.
Okay, so this is where we're going to go.
So we arch up into the cat, down into the cow. Remember, we're not pushing this. This is not a stretch. This is a movement just to help us relax and cool down, but keeping those body parts moving like we need them to. couple more of these. We're not trying to exercise, we're just trying to relax. One more. Where's the cat? Here's the cow. Okay, let's come back up slowly. In fact, I'm going to stay on my knees to do this. Not that I need to, but just so you can see me. We're going to stretch our arms a bit. So hand over your head and just pull that arm behind your head. And you're stretching this muscle out right here. Trying to get that muscle stretched out. That's what we're working on. Stretching out that upper arm. Because the more you stretch it, the more you can exercise it next time you exercise. It'll be in better shape, more ready to do what you ask it to do. Okay, let that go, stretch it out. We're going to do the other arm now. Pull it with the other hand as far over as you can so it gets a good stretch. Letting it stretch out really well. Hopefully you're feeling that stretch, that pull in there, because you're trying to convince those muscles, I need you to be longer. Stretch out some for me. Make more room. Okay, let that go. So let's end with some breathing. So we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Nice deep breaths. In through our nose. Looks like the internet got tired before we did and shut off on us for just a second. Sorry about that, but we're back. So keep the breathing just a little bit more. In and out. So keep breathing. I'm going to do a little bit more talking, but you're doing your breath in and out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this. I really appreciate it. My objective here is to help other people avoid, if possible, what I was headed for and that I was able to avoid by eating right and exercising
and sustainably
living in place. And if you're finding yourself able to do very little and it got away from you, you can regain it back. That's why this title, Regenerate, Don't Degenerate. If you found yourself very degenerated, you can bring it back. Not overnight, not in a week, not in a month, but over time, if you'll consistently eat really healthy foods and exercise. And the healthy foods you can find out about at Hardiness Approach.
Go to hardinessapproach.com and sign up for our newsletter, which is going to come out weekly now, every Friday, with lots of ideas to...
Lots of tips. They're going to be recipes.
Sustainably live in place so that you do not have to go to a facility.
And there you go. That's the answer, isn't it? We want to stay where we want to be, doing what we want to do. And this is one way to help you do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.